The Jugdral Chronology. Year 1. The Kingdom of Gran is born on the June River's west banks.
The year 230, Gran transitions into a republic.
The year 310. Republic's territory expands. Golden Age of Prosperity begins.
The year 440, Advent of the Dark God. Its vessel, Gal, found the Lapterian Order.
The year 447. Rise of the Dark God's Deadlords. The Grand Republic falls.
The year 448, Archbishop Gal is crowned the first ruler of the Laptir Empire.
The year 449. The Great Purge. Over 100,000 are murdered.
The year 452, the Sorrow of Militos. As sacrifices to the Dark God, children are burned alive in droves.
The year 453. The Edda Massacre. Over 10,000 victims of the Empire.
The year 535, Prince Myra rejects his royal kin.
The year 611. A resistance arises across Jugdral.
The year 632, the Miracle of Darna. The gods bestow their power upon 12 rebels, the 12 Crusaders.
Year 633. The Holy War begins.
The year 648, downfall of the Laptir Empire. 7 Crusaders unite to start a powerful new state. Others form 5 independent kingdoms.
The year 649. The Kingdom of Granvale is born. The year 757. Granvale declares war on the eastern nation of Isaach. An age of crisis begins.
The year 776. The best game ever is made by Xiaozo Kaga.
God damn it, Mecha.
At the heart of the continent of Jugdral lies Granvale, a kingdom founded by Saint Haim of the 12 Crusaders. Supporting the royal family, the heirs of Haim, are 6 noble houses, each also descended from a crusader of old. The 6 states, while still subservient to the royal family, each occupies vast swaths of Granvale land and maintain mighty militaries of their own. Owing to King Asmer's advanced age, the governance of Granvale falls to his son, the highly respected Prince Kurth.
Oh man, can't wait to play as this guy.
Kurth has 2 trusted advisors in his rule. Lord Biron of House Chalfi and Lord Ring of House Jungbai. Granville's Chancellor, Lord Raptor of Frege, has long objected to the threat to his influence posed by Kurth and his advisors, and has allied himself with the avaricious Lord Langbelt of House Dozel to form a faction opposed to Kurth's rule over Granville. Jesus Christ, so many names!
Welcome to Fire Emblem 4. Can you spot the evil guys?
The young Duke of House Veldhomer, Lord Arvis, leads the Royal Guard in the King's care and has very little time in fact, for the circus of politics.
Yeah, right.
Only Father Cloud of House Edda could foresee the oncoming storm, because he's hanging upside down. Into the midst of this tense situation comes dire news from Jugdral's east. The bandits attacked. Darna, a town in the Yeet Desert with deep ties to Granvale, is now besieged by savage warriors from Isaach. Reports of a brutal massacre abound. That's when the Fire Nation attacked. The news is met by the people of Granvale with furious cries for retribution. And before long, the kingdom declares war on Isaach. Prince Kurth leads Granville's charge on his father's behalf, commanding the military might of the kingdom's 6 houses. Wow, it's twice as many as the new game. At Kurth's side, as always, is none other than Lord Biron, a highly decorated hero of peerless valor in his own right.
I'm old.
Peerless swordplay. Granvale has poured its entire military might into Isaac's campaign, and precious few soldiers remain behind. With its neighbors, Augustria to the west, Jeez, this is slow-ass scrolling. Hurry up, Mangs! Play faster!
I'm trying my best here.
And Verdane to the south, bound in alliance with Granville. None dare to dream they could ever be threatened.
Hold my beer.
It is not long at all, however, before the people's confidence is shattered. As if from nowhere, a vast horde from Verdane, led by Prince Gandalf,
You shall not pass.
crosses the Granville border and lays siege to Jungbai Castle.
Oh fuck, you passed.
In Lord Ring's absence, his daughter, Lady Aideen, is Jungbai's only guardian.
We're fucked.
Lord Biron has entrusted the defense of Granville in his absence to his son. Sigurd, who remains at Chalfie Castle with a mere handful of soldiers.
Oh man, I feel so sorry for the brigands.
Don't be. They're brigands. A friend of Aideen since childhood. Sigurd is horrified to hear of the Ljungby siege, and even with so few soldiers, is determined to protect Aideen and his fatherland from the savage Verdanites hordes.
Verdanites. Yeah.
Dynamites. The year is 776, Grand Calendar.
Oh my god, no, it's not.
Damn it!
I know that's what you want it to be, but it's not.
The year is 757, Grand Calendar, and thus the threshold of fate is cast open. Not fate, please not fate. Nobody could have known then that this simple disturbance was but the first of countless calamities to come.
Oh yeah. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Play Fire Emblem 4, Genealogy of the Holy War. That was the narration done by Mekwa. And we are about to jump into the prologue, which is called Birth of a Holy Knights.
Come on, get born already. I wanna play.
Milady, the castle is completely surrounded. We failed you. We couldn't do a thing to save you from them. It's alright, my dear. Every one of you did the best you could do. Please, you needn't worry about me. So, hands up, who thought this was a girl on their first playthrough?
The right one, yeah. I thought it was a girl
No,
too.
the left one.
Oh, that's a girl too. That's a girl.
Yeah. You must ensure that as many of you survive this as possible, so Manx gets a good survival ranking. No, milady, we might not stand a chance, but every last one of us will give our lives to protect you right to the very end. Thank you, my dear. I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, guys. Midir's got this. He'll protect the castle. Gandalf's army already has Jungbai surrounded. Aideen is in grave danger. Noish, I'm going to go help her. I'm leaving Chalfie in your hands. Hold, my lord. Surely you don't intend to go alone.
Yes.
Nearly all of our forces are already on the march to Isaach with Father. There's hardly anybody left to call upon. They may be simple savages, but Verdane's army is still huge. I can't risk your lives by forcing you to face them. Perish the thought, my lord. I was born a knight, and I will gladly risk dying a knight's death in your name. To allow our lord to die alone in battle would be an unspeakable disgrace. We shall die by your we shall be by your side every step on the way.
He is correct though, he was correct.
Alec, I trust you're of the same mind.
Yeah, I want the XP too.
Yeah, of course, but there's more than just Jungbai at stake. We gotta stop by the nearby villages first. Those thugs will try to beat us to them, and they'll loot, massacre, and burn them all down if they do. We gotta get the gold instead. We gotta get there first, and lend the locals a hand in locking the villages down and fortifying their defenses.
And taking their gold.
Absolutely, we mustn't neglect our knightly duties to the people, especially not at a time like this. Good point, Alec.
All of my points are good.
Actually, that was Oifi's idea. That kid's every bit a tactician they say he is. Give him a few years and he'll be a match for his old grandpa, Lord Caesar. Or Caesar. Oifi's still around the castle, huh? Oifi, I know you're here. You can come out now. My apologies for still being here, sire. Still, if you would allow it, I'd like to join you in battle. I can't just sit back while you risk your lives. I don't know. You're still so young. Are you sure you're ready for this? I'm already 14, sire.
It's old enough for heroes, apparently.
I'm old enough to get married in Fates. I may not be battle ready just yet, but there's still so much I can do to support you. Please allow me to accompany you. I swear I won't let you down. Fair enough, Oifi. After all, you've already spent 2 years training as my squire.
So that's why he has 2 leadership stars. I get it now.
Ah, yeah. Real battlefield experience would be fantastic for your training, but you're still definitely not up to actual combat duty for now. How about you ride with me as my advisor instead? Yes, thank you, sire. Thank you. Milord, what of the defenses of Chalfie itself in our absence? Leaving the castle unattended is risky. Should the enemy slip past us, an unguarded castle will fall easily and spell us a swift end.
Yeah, we just instantly die when it happens.
Yeah. Noise, I'd say there's only one man who we can depend upon for that, eh, Arden?
Hold on a moment. Why me, Alec?
Because you have no shoulders.
He doesn't. Sturdy as a brick wall, strong as an ox, slow as a turtle. Face it, Arden, you were born for guard duty.
Puh, I'm strong and tough, I know, but you really don't need to call me slow.
He has a point, Arden. Would you? You're the most apt at your guard duty.
Fine, I'll do it. But you have to bring me with you at least once. I don't want to be left out of the action.
I promise.
Don't worry, Arden, we'll bring you for chapter 2. Right, men, it's time to set out. Let's start by assisting the villages.
Finally, he broke.
Bad timing. And then it's onward to Gunpei. Holy shit, it's been a while since we voice acted, man.
Did you voice acted? I never voice acted.
Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, now welcome to Fire Emblem 4. It's a long intro, and it's about to get longer.
The 4 is so wordy, holy shit.
Yeah, so, yeah. Just take a look at the first map, and this isn't even one of the biggest maps.
This is the smallest one.
This is actually one of the smallest one. So, yeah. Welcome to this one. This is going to be a fully voice-acted, full playthrough of Fire Emblem 4. This is going to be some caveats. We're doing a ranked run. If you haven't checked it out yet, I've released a video yesterday on my channel called Fire Emblem 4 Rankings Explained. So you can go check that out if you want us to go, like, if you want me to go in detail about the rankings. But I won't really be talking much about it in this episode, but it will probably come up from time to time. If you want to check out what kind of children we planned out for the second generation, there's also a video on my channel that came out yesterday. You can go check out that as well. I'll link to both of these videos in the video description.
The thumbnail, dude.
Oh my god, the thumbnail. Oh, yeah, that thumbnail. Thanks, Jake. So, yeah. Let's start by just getting
animations
the
off.
Animations off, yeah. Fast enemy speed, and of course, we are playing on Clever Mode!
Which is why I'm here.
Yeah, Mecha has entered the lobby. This is now Clever Mode. So, yeah, Clever Mode doesn't actually do much. It just makes the enemies a little bit less stupid. Like, Mecha, you said something along the lines of, like, they fight like if they're commanded by a 5 leadership star unit or something?
That's what I heard, yeah. Enemies are usually pretty stupid in FE4, but they sometimes, if they have a smart leader with like 5 leadership stars, they will be like more likely to gang up on a single unit. I think, don't quote me on that. They're like smarter in ways but dumber in others. I can't really explain it, but yeah. Clever Mode makes them act like they're under leadership of a 5-star leader, I think.
Pretty much.
That's what I read on the internet, so it must be right.
Yep. I don't know if it actually makes a difference, but I've never tried it before, so I'd like to try it.
You just want to put Clever Mode on your videos.
I just want to put Clever Mode on my videos. So in true Mangs and Mecha fashion, we're going to be rating the units, starting off with the one, the only, Sigurd, the Night Lord of Chalfie. And Jake has made some absolutely beautiful stat screens for this. Thank you so much, Jake. And yeah, let's talk about Sigurd. Best unit in the game, maybe? 5 out of 5 stars?
Easy. He's like the I'd say he's like either the third or the second best unit in the series, probably.
Yeah, so Sigurd, he's fantastic. So many new players will look at Sigurd and they'll go like, ew, you get a pre-promote as your main character. Yes, he is pre-promoted, but in Fire Emblem 4, levels work a little differently to what you might be otherwise be used to. Units will actually level to 30, and they'll promote to 20. So treat Sigurd as a unit, like, that just gets his promotion earlier, before everyone else. He has insane bases. His growth rates are pretty good because he comes with Holy Blood. This is one of the pivotal mechanics of Fire Emblem. I can't remember the key. There you go. So he has Major Baldur Holy Blood, which boosts his growth rates. So
it's on the stat screen anyway.
It's on the stat screen. Not only will Sigurd start out amazing, but he'll grow pretty good as well. Experience gains are pretty generous in Fire Emblem 4, even for high-level units, so it's easy to level up even strong units.
I disagree.
I find that they are. At least compared to Radiant, but we just played the Tellius game, so everything feels generous in terms of experience.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Sigurd, he pretty much one-rounds every single generic enemy on this map, except for some of the higher level ones. And he can also go up against the bosses really easily. Like, he just massacres. Like, he can solo the first generation with ease. He gets a silver sword at the end of this chapter, or right before the end of this chapter. That just makes him even better. And he's just a wonderful unit. Like, fantastic. 5 out of 5 stars. Easily one of the best units in the game. Really makes the first generation a lot of fun to play.
Yeah, saying Sigurd can solo the first generation is like almost an insult because anyone in Gen 1 can solo the generation apparently. I've tried it. I've done it. But Sigurd...
He can do it easier than anyone else.
Yeah, Sigurd can do it super easily because he's just so powerful off the bat. He one-rounds the first enemy you face, and that's just a sign for the whole game to come. Basically, he has a 110 HP growth, so he's guaranteed to get HP, and then like a 10% chance to get plus 2 HP. 50% strength growth is insane. 50% skill growth is insane. 30% speed is like mediocre for other games, but his speed base is so high that he doubles just about everything. Even when he's using lances, funnily enough, like when he uses swords, he's fast in everything anyway, and that goes for 90% of the cast, because swords generally only weigh about 3, some weigh like 5 or 6. But that's still faster than almost every enemy out there. But even when he uses lances, he has 0 speed. It doesn't matter. He still doubles everything in this chapter and pretty much everything after. You can even make 1-2 range weapons work, even though they're kind of garbage in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, stupidly good. He's also very bulky, 35 HP at base and 90 defense. I think he gets like 3 or 4 hit killed in this chapter. He dodges pretty reliably because the weapon triangle is like 20% in this game, so axes pretty much cannot hit him. He has a free leadership star, which gives him and everyone around him 10% avoid. I think he has 2 stars, but you don't get any points for the first star, so it's everything beyond.
10% for 2 star, 20% for 3 star.
Yeah, it's 10% extra for every star beyond the first. It's a stupid system, but it works. And I think it's because Oifi has like 2 years of training or whatever.
I think so,
yeah. It's very bulky. He gets the holy turfing in chapter 5, which is also pretty good when it comes. But he's good with every single sword out there. He's super good. 5 stars.
Then, we'll start with the Red Knight, Noisha. Noish. He is a cavalier. Despite that, like, he's got a mount, which is nice. In this game, units with mounts are pretty much king, because you got Super Kanto in this game, which allows you to not only move after you attack, it also allows you to trade and change your own equipments after you attack, which is just ridiculous. Despite that, though, I mean, Noish is not a fantastic unit. In Fire Emblem 4, in order to double, you need the skill called Pursuit. If you don't have Pursuit, you won't double, regardless of how fast you are, except if you have another skill that lets you attack more times, or if you have a Bray weapon. Noish doesn't have Pursuit, which is a huge issue for him. You do get a Pursuit ring later on in the chapter. You can give it to him if you want him to do well, but I think this is a big investment for Noish. He's pretty durable, and he hits pretty hard, but his inability to double attack just makes him so hard to get kills with. You pretty much have to set kills up for him if you want him to do well, or send him into the arena, and he'll do decently in some arenas, but he'll get massacred if he comes up really high. Yeah, he's just not fantastic, but he's on a mount, so I think I'm going to rate Noish 3 stars. I think that having a mount, like, at least warrants you that, but combat-wise, he's not spectacular. He will be the father of one of the kids in the 2nd generation, though, so training him up and giving him some good weapons is probably a good idea. He does not have any Holy Blood.
Okay, so I like Noish quite a lot just because he joined so early and he has a mount, so that basically makes him good in my book. The skill set he has is like interesting, but not as good as Sigurd's, ironically enough, even though Sigurd's only skill is double attack, just like normal. But Noish has critical and charge or a cost. I think in this patch it's called a cost.
Yeah.
And both of those are unreliable, but they work sometimes, so occasionally Noish will just one-round something, but most of the times he won't. Cavalier is kind of like... in this game, like, they have B swords and then C lances, and then when they promote to Paladin, they get B lances, so you can use both kind of hero weapons, brave weapons, and they're really good in this game when he promotes. I guess access to the brave sword is kind of nice for him. Pursuit ring works as well, kind of fixing. He's not great, but just having a horse in this game makes such a huge difference. Like, this is not just mecha, like, jerking off over mounted units or anything. Like, in this game, like, the maps are so big.
Yeah.
If you don't have a horse, like, every turn you're gonna fall behind by like 4 squares, because road tiles and the size of the maps is just so enormous.
And Super Kanto. And Super
Yeah.
Kanto. Do not forget Super Kanto. It's so good.
It is nice to just be able to re-equip a new weapon after. Although I don't know if Noish will ever have more than one good weapon.
Probably not.
We'll see. We'll see. I think like training him just because he's a dad, I think that's a little bit of a pitfall. Honestly, I don't really think you should train units just because they're dads or mommies or whatever. Just leaving them at base levels a lot of the time is easier. But for you, you have to take care of the XP ranks. So you have to train Noish. You have to train everyone. So and Noish, I don't think he'll be particularly hard to train just because of the amount and his flexibility, but he's kind of annoying to train sometimes. So I think 3 stars is fair. I'm considering 4 stars just because of how available and how mounted he is. But I think for now we're going to say 3 stars and we'll leave it to him to prove me wrong.
Yeah, just 2 things that I forgot to mention. Female paladins actually get staves, male paladins don't, so male paladins are just worse. And charge, if anyone is wondering, like, it's very complicated. It procs based on your HP. If you have a lot of hit points compared to the enemy, it has a bigger chance to proc. It can, theoretically, proc up to 15 times, but...
Oh, it says 20.
20, yeah.
I've never seen
but
like
the
2.
chances of this happening are so astronomically small. I don't think anyone has ever seen it happen. But, like, because I think it's a percentage chance to proc after, like, a percentage, so it just gets lower and lower and lower.
Yeah, it can only proc when Noish has 25 HP or more, according to Serenus Forest.
Yeah.
And then the chance to proc it is, like, his attack speed minus enemy's attack speed plus his own HP divided by 2.
It's really, really weird.
Good luck calculating it.
Yeah, no. Alec, the first time me and my friends played this game, I will never forget his initial reaction to Alec. He just looks at him and he goes, "Why is that guy wearing toilet paper on his head?"
His head got toilet papered.
And now I can't unsee it. So yeah, Alec, he's the Green Cavalier. He's faster than Noish. He's a little bit less durable than Noish. But he has one thing that Noish doesn't have. He has Pursuit. Not only does he have Pursuit, he also has Nihil, which negates enemy skill, which you'll rarely actually ever get to see in this game. I mean, there's like a couple of enemy bosses. I don't think it negates Great Shield, it just negates sword skills, effective damage, and critical hits, I think. So you'll almost never see this skill. It is nice to pass down though for some kids, but as far as Alec, he'll seldom get any usage out of it. There's like one really scary boss in Chapter 3 that has crit, but Alec is seldom strong enough to take him on anyway. But Pursuit is nice. It means he can attack twice, so he'll do a lot more damage than his red buddy. So, but I still only rate Alec 3 stars, just because, you'll see after a while. Like, Alec and Noish are just really hard to train, I find. Despite being mounted, despite having good availability, their stats are just not good enough compared to what you get later on in the game, and I just find both of them to fall off so incredibly quick, unless I really go in to train them by giving them really good gear. They just don't get anywhere on their own, I find. You really gotta give them special treatment to make them good, and even then, you only get like 2 pretty decent paladins. So there's just so many good units joining after a while, so... But yeah, I think 3 stars is fair for Alec.
Yeah, I like Alec a lot, actually, for, someone perceived to be as weak as he is. He's actually pretty good, I think. I don't know if I'd give him 4 stars. I'm still considering 3. A lot of people think that Alec is weak just because of what he does in the early chapters, and you're like, wow, his damage output is shit. But that's because most of the time people just don't give him a better sword than his iron sword. So of course he's gonna look weak after a while. But he can use a steel sword, he can use a brave sword, and with those he does actually some pretty decent damage. He can also use lances to do more damage. He can use javelins if you want to. And he can use the Brave Sword to hit 4 times, which is also pretty good. I know anyone is good with the Brave Sword, but still, he has it available, so sometimes it might be nice to have Alec with like a really good weapon, and then someone like Sigurd can get away with using a worse weapon and still 1 round. So I think there's an argument for sometimes giving Alec some good gear to work with. You can also use a Light Brand after promotion kind of well, because Paladins actually get +5 magic or something after promotion, so he's actually pretty close to 1-rounding things with a Light Brand or like a Thunder Sword or something. It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But he's not super amazing, I will admit, but just the combination of a horse joining in Prologue and Pursuit is really good. So I am considering 4 stars, but for now, again, I'm gonna go with 3, and I'll leave it to him to prove him wrong. I have a video on both Alec, Noish, and Medir, who joins later, actually.
Yeah, I remember.
Pitfalls 4 somewhere. So while I'm here, I might as well plug that, I guess.
Yeah. And...
Yes, my favorite.
He's here. The meme is here. So, for those of you who only play Heroes, you might think, oh wow, this guy's really good, because like, he's stupidly good in Heroes.
Ain't no way I'm gonna die!
but he is not very good here. Arden is very much a joke character. He is the original Meg. Even the developers are very aware of this. Just gotta point out, have you seen some of the official artwork of Arden? It is the most hilarious shit I have ever seen in my life. I'll post some on screen. I just like, there's a lot of official artwork of Arden, and it's like the artist went out of their way to draw him horrendously bad. It's just fucking wonderful. I love it. So Arden, you get a footlocked armor sword, the worst kind. Like, not only are you an armor knight, but you're locked to swords.
Hey man, swords are the best weapon in FE4. I know what you're talking about.
This is actually true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
boom.
He has 5 move. He comes with 1 skill, Vantage, which when he's below 50%, he'll attack first. Yay. He can't double. He is not particularly good in combat. He doesn't even tank well, I find. And yeah, he's just terrible. Even the game makes fun of him. 1 star. I have to train him. It's going to be interesting to see how high I can get him up. I do need a General Arden in the 1st generation. I want everyone to promote, but this could be a very daunting task. We'll see if I can make it work or not.
Yeah, Arden is kind of funny. I soloed the game with him twice.
You are fucking insane.
It's actually so much fun, because at some point, he gets so much defense that the enemies just ignore him. So it actually becomes even more tedious than you think, because he has to, like, whack these enemies down one by one. It's the stupidest thing ever. Swords, I think, are saving grace, actually. Like, I'd much rather have swords than axes or lances on him, because swords are pretty good. He has beast swords, so again, you can use a brave sword. You can use a pursuit ring later on, and it's not his to keep, because other people really want it, but he's the only one who can use it without paying like 40,000 gold for it, so I guess that counts for something. And that actually makes it pretty good in the arena, because even with the Iron Sword, he will double axe enemies, he will double lance enemies, because they're just so slow. So with the pursuit ring and maybe the brave sword sometimes in the arena, he can actually get pretty far, and some enemies don't do a whole lot of damage to him. So if you can get him to the front lines, he can do some damage. That, don't get me wrong, 5 move is 5 move. This guy is terrible. I'm just saying, it's not the worst thing ever. If you want to play really slow, he's actually not unusable. If you really want to make him work, you can make him work. But I gotta say, his accuracy is horrible. Like, he's using an Iron Sword, and his hit rate still doesn't hit 100%.
Yeah,
this is stupid.
That's pretty bad.
And this game is 1 RN, not 2 RN, so he's likely to just randomly miss somewhere. Yeah. It's super annoying. I'm still gonna give him 1 star. Like, far be it from me to give him anything higher than that when he's not mounted, but he's fun to use. He's one of my favorites.
He is a meme.
He's a funny meme. I like Arden. Anyway, that was it for this episode. We've been here for like 45 minutes, so bye.
Yeah, pretty much. I know some of you guys really complain. Wait,
you did this already.
Yeah, I was just baffled by how slow Arden walks on the minimap.
Yeah, that's because I think the movement speed is actually determined by the actual speed.
Yes.
Like the speed stat.
Yes, you're right. So I'm actually gonna leave this guy for the knights, and I'm gonna send Sigurd over to the castle. I also have to bring Arden. Now, one of the things that's kind of cool about FE4 is the weapon triangle.
Animations.
Animations are amazing. I've always hoped Noish won't get hit here, but it does leave room for Ethlin to heal him later, so it's actually not as bad as you might think. We're gonna get some characters showing up in the next turn as well. I know some of you guys complain that we take a lot of time getting started, but FE4 just has so much shit to cover right off the bat. You get a lot of characters in the first map. Once we're past that, there will be less talking and more playing, I promise, guys.
People are here for unit ratings anyway. It's fine.
That's what a lot of people like the most, actually, based on my feedback. Also, for some reason, the turns don't end by themselves, so...
Oh, by the way, are you gonna save every turn with, like, auto-save?
I might. Yeah, I might. You seriously haven't seized the Spuna Castle yet? Unless a lot of you are useless, a lot of you. Out of my way. I'll do it myself. And here we see Gandalf cheating. You, not bad for being here all in your lonesome, but I have had enough of your struggling. So yeah, he crits despite not having the crit skill.
Yeah, you don't just need pursuit to double, you also need critical to crit.
Yeah, milady, forgive me. I love the death scream. It's actually one of my favorite parts.
You're a masochist.
My dear, Well, look like we have quite the gem here, and Gunpei's princess to boot. You're coming with me, dearie. Listen up, DiMaggio, which is a hilarious name. I'm heading back. You and Gerard are in charge.
Got hilarious hair too.
Oh, yes, sir. He looks like an evil Mathis. Ha! Relax. Won't be long. I'll be bringing Kinbat's lot along for the fun. When I do, all of Granvale's our oyster. Even Valhalla to be easy pickings. What with nobody being around to stop us. Yeah, good luck with Valhalla. The kingdom's all ours, boys. Leave it to us, sir.
It's been a while since I played with this translation patch. We used to have an old translation that was kind of brief. This one is really good.
Yeah. Oi, quit your dawdling. We don't have all day, you know. Yeah, this one expands the script a lot more.
Book of Whole City, aka Project Naga.
Yeah.
Project Naga.
Oh yeah, I should have plugged that translation patch. I'll link to it in the video description. It's a really good one. You should get it. Cut the bridge. I'll have none of those Granvalian worms crossing over here. Yes, sir. We won't lower it until they come closer.
Until they seize the castle.
Oi, Gerard, I'm going back to Marfa for now. You're in charge of the border. Stay sharp, we clear? Yes, sir. But, here, your lordship, who's that there dame you have? The spoils of war, my boy. She's going back to Marfa to marry me. What do you think? A real keeper, eh? I'd say, just looking at me make my mouth water. I think. Mank skipped my dialogue. Back off. This one's mine. You'll have your pick of gold Granvale once we're done here. Keep it in your pants a little longer, yeah? What animals? Gods above, I implore you, bestow upon these men a hint of human decency.
Reaction image right there.
Yeah. Oi, what are you mumbling about now? We're out of here. No dawdling. You hear?
Dawdling.
And off he goes, just like Arden with Tanya and Super Tracia. Get to work, boys. Our next stop's Chalfie. Don't forget to milk the villagers for all they got. And here comes the most awesome enemy theme.
Yep, too bad it keeps getting interrupted by people fighting.
It does keep getting interrupted. So yeah, here we go. This is Sigurd.
Good.
This is Sigurd, ladies and gentlemen, and he doesn't get any worse. To anyone who thinks he's a Jagan and he falls off, no. No. Like, no.
His growths are good. He gains XP like a normal unit. I don't know how he could ever fall off.
He is so good. So I'm gonna leave that guy for Arden, I think.
Not a bad idea. You gotta make sure that the enemy doesn't ever get to go near the castle, because if he can seize, he will go for it.
Yeah. So here you see brigands burning down the villages. They'll spend, I think, 10 turns in total burning the villages. Yeah. Every time they burn them, they'll take away 500 gold, so you gotta hurry. Looks like we made it in time, Lex. By the look of it, Sigurd's staring down the entire Verdane army with just a handful of men. But bet he'll be glad for the help. But geez, SL, I can't believe I let you drag me into yet another mess like this. With the war in Isaach going on, there's hardly anyone left to defend Granvale. Sigurd's few knights are all we have, and they're out there risking their lives on behalf of the entire country. I couldn't just leave him to die. Well, we both know there's more to it than that. Come on, Asil, what's the real reason we're here? I have no idea what you mean. It's that lady Aideen of Gunpei, isn't it? Come on, everyone knows you like her. You just came for her sake, didn't you? No, of course not, you dolt. Really? Then why's your face beat red? Looks like somebody got a girlfriend. Lex, knock it off. Come on, we wasted enough time. Oh. Yeah,
Got it.
I hate skipping dialogue, but basically what Lex says is, let's go kick some ass or something. I like Lex.
I think that's actually what he says in the old patch.
Oh man, why did I skip it? Oh, there was like one frame. I can put it up on screen. Alright, so Lex joins Mounted Hector right here.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorite guys from the first generation. I love Lex. Not only is he my favorite unit, like combat-wise, even though I know he's not very impressive. There's a secret event later that redeems him a lot, but I just like him. Again, he's Mounted Hector. How can you not love this guy? His bases are pretty good. Yeah, he can't double. He doesn't come with pursuit, but as I said, there's a secret event in the next chapter that sort of takes care of that. But he hits pretty hard and he's very tanky. But one of my favorite aspects about Lex is that he comes with Paragon. It just doubles his experience gains, just makes it so easy for him to get to promotion. He also has Vantage, which, you know, not that great, but he passes it down. It's good on some kids. But yeah, I like Lex a lot. I think I'm gonna rate him 4 out of 5 stars. because once you get the secret events, he hits really hard. He gets a Brave Axe out of it, which is more than enough to patch up his inability to double. And once he promotes, he just becomes a juggernaut. I really like him. He's also a really good father. He's so important for a lot of pairings. So just a really pivotal, important unit. I really like this guy.
Alright, I'm not sure entirely what to give him. I do like Lex overall. I think he's pretty good. He's like, as you said, he's very bulky. You might have noticed this in the game screen. It says his avoid is -6. That's because axes are super heavy in this game. They weigh 18.
Yeah.
With the exception of the hero axe, which weighs 12. That's going to be a really important axe for him later. But right now, he's not going to dodge anything. So he's just going to have to face tank everything. And he's bulky. Not so bulky that he can take like an entire army on, which is kind of a thing in FE4. Almost every our enemies is like in a group of like 10 people. So right now it's not that great for Lex to just be in the middle of a bunch of enemies. But he'll get there at some point. He's also pretty strong. You can get to a point where he just one-rounds a bunch of people with this with that strong axe he gets later. But the problem with Lex is that he doesn't get that axe until like the end of chapter 1.
Yeah.
And until then he doesn't double, doesn't twit KO, or doesn't one-round KO anything. And even when he gets it, it's like the only way he's good. So he can't ever be good at like 2 range, for example, because the hand axe is just complete garbage.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks. So he does have some significant drawbacks. His resistance is really bad. So against like an army of wind mages, for example, he can be really bad. I find that there's a limited time where Lex is like really powerful and everything else is but I can see 4 stars, especially because Paragon is so nice for a ranked run. So
Yeah.
I'll tentatively give him 4 stars right now. But for like an efficiency tier list, I usually put Lex around the same level as like Alec and Noish, which might shock some people, but I think he's a little bit overrated, but he's still good and he's a fan favorite, so I do appreciate that.
Yeah, he's also the first character, aside from Sigurd, who comes with Holy Blood. He comes with Minor Near Blood. That boosts his defense. He comes from the Axe family, essentially.
Yeah, but it's been taken into account for his growth rates already.
Oh, yeah. Then we have Azel, another Holy Blood guy. This guy's got Minor Fala Blood. He comes from the Fire family. Azel, he's really good on this map, and then he stops being good. He has just enough speed to double many of the brigands here, and he does just enough damage to one-round them, which is really appreciated. I mean, Azel's start is really, really good. Fire magic is sadly the worst magic type in this game. All 3 magic types, fire, thunder, and wind, are actually equal in their stats. They just have varying weights, and fire is the heaviest tome at 12 weights. Luckily, the brigands here are slow as balls because they wield axes, so he can double them still. But against anything else, SL will really struggle to double. You can see he has -4 avoid on the stat screen, which just shows how heavy this tome is. But again, he does pretty well at the start. If you promote him, he promotes into a Mage Knight, which gives him a mount. But this usually comes very late, unless you are really adamant about feeding him a lot of kills. He's also, like, I would call him sort of like a pairing pitfall. I get a feeling like a lot of people like to use him as a father, but I find that many of the pairings he's involved in aren't that great. People just like doing, like, gimmicky pairings with, like, magic swords and stuff. I think we talked about this a little bit in our pairing video.
Yeah, I hate those.
People are like, make a son the father and you'll become really good. It's like, no. It's, like, you can do it, but it's not good. So, lack of amounts. Magic user is nice though. I think I'm gonna give Azel 2 out of 5 stars. His, like, the 2 stars comes only from his usefulness in the first chapter, but after that, man, he drops off so fast, and he's pretty unimpressive overall.
Well, you're stuck with him. The thing with Azel, I think, is his offense remains good for most of the game. In this chapter, the next chapter, he doubles fine with fire against most enemies, so the weight isn't a huge problem. The main problem is really the 5 movement is the same as Arden, so he really has a lot of trouble keeping up. If he had 6 move, at least it would be sort of bearable maybe, because you get some other foot units who also need 3 XP, so not that big of a detriment, but 5 move is just so awful.
Yeah.
And he's stuck with it until level 20. He needs 19 levels of being awful until he gets a mount, and at that point he becomes good. And the other problem with Azel is his durability is not very good. 30 HP looks a lot higher, but HP in FE4 in general is very high, both for player characters and for enemies. But that 2 defense still means he goes down like really fast. His defense growth isn't good either.
No.
So he's still gonna get like 2 KO by a lot of things. His resistance isn't even all that great for a mage or anything. So even mages can like pose a threat to him. So he's a glass cannon basically. After chapter, I think in chapter 2 you can buy Thunder for him. He gets like 5 attack speed faster, but he's still not reliable at dodging, and he'll still probably like die to a series of enemies pretty easily. And then at some point you can buy a win for him, but that's like the end of the generation.
Yeah.
Mostly. So I don't know. Azel never really gets great, but once he promotes, he's like pretty good, and he has pursuit unlike a lot of other characters. So his offense will always remain good.
Yeah.
So I would say 2 stars is overall fair for Azel. If you can get him promoted, he's pretty good, but until then, he's like a really big pain in the ass. You're stuck with him though. You have to train him.
Yep, pretty much. But I do love his start. You can see right here, he one-runs all of the brigands here. On the forest, his avoid is pretty good. I like in Fire Emblem 4 how their hit displays even if they can't attack back.
Yeah.
So you can see that this guy would have had a 54% chance to hit him. I like to send Lex this way to actually, I like to send, we probably need to think about, I haven't planned out much about how I'm going to distribute gold.
Oh, you're gonna fail. You're gonna fail.
So
you can't win without planning.
Exactly. So, here's the question. Who should we give the villages to? I mean, you can give them to Lex. What I hate about, like, villages is you can't canto after you visit them, so...
Oh, yeah.
But...
I would not visit this village with Lex right now. I think Lex should just hurry up to the left and save other villages.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about Lex is I think no matter what you do, he's gonna get level 30 because of Paragon, so any kill you can give to someone that isn't Lex is probably to your advantage.
Yeah.
And as for handing out the villages themselves, I think Arden should be busy getting kills because he has such a hard time getting them that he has no time to get the villages.
Yeah, this is
Alec
true.
and Noish are a little bit more flexible with them, and they might not need gold for like the weapons or anything, but at some point you get the Paragon ring, and you want to swap that around as much as possible to get like maximum XP out of Arena. So you should be trying to get people to 40,000 gold as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
So they can like partake into that Paragon buying stuff. And I know this is like 3 chapters ahead of us, but you gotta think like that if you want to like get your AAA rank, which you won't get. Like I still don't think you're gonna make it, but if you want to have a chance at it, I think giving villages to, well, you can either concentrate on one Cavalier and just make sure that they get it for sure, or you can spread them around a little bit. I think maybe for now concentrate on one, and then if you think you can make it with both, then just give them to another.
Absolutely. So I think Noish will kill this guy.
Yeah, Alec and Noish perfectly combined to get a kill on like these level 1 brigands.
Yeah, I really like that. So what I can use my remaining movement to visit this village with Noish.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, thank the gods!
You can also use the gold for... Yeah.
We're saved! We can't thank you enough! Here, the whole village did their bit to raise some money for you. It's not much, but we hope it helps out there. Be sure to lend the other villagers a hand, too. I bet they'll be happy to help you out right back. Tribute.
So what I was going to say is, Noish can also use the gold to buy the pursuit ring if you want.
Yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to do it. I think
I actually don't think you have to go for both Paragon and Pursuit, so you might have to choose.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I hope that guy would go for Arden.
Well, Arden has more defense, so pretty unlikely. I don't think they take hit into account, unless they have like 0 hit.
Yeah, you see, I've been watching some various speedruns of FE4, and one nice trick that I saw is if you let Arden get damaged, you can heal him with Ethlyn when she shows up, which is a little bit of extra experience for you.
Yeah. I mean, Ethlyn will cap no matter what.
Yeah, I suppose she will.
Unless you, like, fail at staff abusing her, but you shouldn't. Like, she gets the return staff automatically, so she should be getting a lot of XP, just for free, basically.
Yeah, so I said we wouldn't talk much about rankings, but just in case you didn't watch the video, we got roughly 30 turns for each chapter, although we should try to spend less than that on the shorter ones. And every character, oh wow, I really hope that guy wouldn't hit. We have to get a combined 1,000 level ups on all of our characters. This means that every single character that we can get our hands on needs to level up 20 times. And some characters are not capable of doing this. So that means the other characters have to sort of pull their weight and level up more than that too.